was born in Kuwait, but my mom and dad were born in Palestine.
My mom and dad are both from Taiwan.
My mom's from Hong Kong and my dad's from China.
I got relatives all over the world, actually.
Generally, kids are accepting. Occasionally, I've seen cases where we had a child from Africa who came with a kind of a spiky hairdo, and you know, other kids made fun of our kids, or saying, "Oh, there goes the porcupine girl" and stuff. And you know, and I think that we as teachers need to talk to the general population and explain to them this child is from a different culture, and maybe this child dresses different.
If my little boy comes home and he's all sad and crying and saying, you know, someone called me a shrimp because he's a tiny person, is that different from someone coming home and saying, "Mommy, you know, someone said I had a brown face," or made fun of the color of my skin? I think the root of the problem is similar. We have to address and look at, well, you know, what are some ways that we have been prejudiced ourselves?
We are people, basically people. The only difference that we have is just the skin color. And we have feelings, we have emotions, and we feel the same way as anybody else does. And if they can understand that, then I think this world will be a more peaceful place than anything else.
So I'm encouraged by some of the things that are happening. In the curriculum, for example, it's essential that the materials in the curriculum reflect the real nature of this country. You know, we should eliminate stereotypes and racism that's in the curriculum. The illustrations should reflect the multicultural nature of the country.
The Department of Education of the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador defines multicultural education as education that promotes cultural understanding and facilitates cultural accommodations. The outcome of multicultural education should be an increased knowledge about other cultures, an appreciation of other ways of life, and cross-cultural social and communication skills. In many ways, people are the same the world over. Yet there are differences, and it's these differences that can cause the misunderstandings that sometimes lead to prejudice. Understanding these differences is essential in any multicultural education process.
Ethnic countries have different traditions in datings, and you know, the girls is going out with the boys, which is like in Philippines, we have more conservative in ways in dating, and sometimes we are not allowed to go out with a man or a youth or a boy without a chaperone. So it's hard sometimes for the parents to accept what their children are doing, are doing here in Canada.
Hello, I'm Smita Joshi, Curriculum Consultant with the Department of Education, Government of Newfoundland and Labrador. We are going to look at some role plays that cover the potential areas of misunderstanding between people. Let's begin with food.
Hi.
Hi.
Come on in.
Thank you.
How are you tonight?
I'm fine, thank you. How
Great.
Are you?
Oh, just wonderful. Okay. This is my wife, Heather.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Heather, this is Massey Cuisine.
I've heard a lot about you. Oh, have you?
Let me have your coat now, and we'll go in the living room and have a drink or something.
I appreciate that.
Great.
I love your dress.
Well, thank
really
you.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Come in, Massey, and sit down.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to go hang up Massey's coat.
Okay, probably you can get us some wine.
Good idea.
So how do you like living here?
Oh, it's wonderful. I like it so much.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
Oh, 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what department is it you're teaching?
I'm in geography department.
Oh, I see.
Let me tell you something I found interesting was the accent in Newfoundland, you know. People talk so fast that I could not pick anything they were saying. Yeah, but I'm getting there now.
Yes. You're finally able to understand
yes,
what
I
they're
do
saying
understand now. And most people understand me now.
Yeah.
Excuse me for a minute. I just have to check on dinner.
Okay.
You must have found the snow a bit funny as well the first time you saw it.
Oh yes, it was so interesting. When I saw it, I couldn't understand how people can live in such a weather.
Right.
I wouldn't believe that you'd work and do activities in snow. You know.
You don't have snow?
No, we don't.
I see. So what did you think when you first saw it coming down?
It threatened me at first.
It frightened you?
Yes, I thought it would be harmful.
Oh, yeah. What did your children think?
Oh, they enjoyed it. They ran out immediately to jump around in the snow.
But you were concerned.
Dinner is ready now, so we can come and eat.
Okay, great. There we are. Take your wine, I guess.
Thank you.
And I'll take Heather's wine. We have something really special now for our main course.
Just move your spoon.
This is a real Newfoundland treat.
Yes, I hope you enjoy it.
All our visitors, this is a special meal we always prepare. It's lobster. Well, dig right in. Well, do you know how to eat them? I mean, do you want me to help you break it open or anything?
Excuse me, we actually don't eat robusta at all.
You don't eat lobster at all?
No, we don't.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Why, this is awful. That poor woman couldn't eat a thing that we gave her tonight.
Maybe I should have told my career before that we do not eat shellfish.
Well, I mean, I just never thought of asking.
No, of course, you never think of asking those kinds of things. You should have known. You're working with the woman. I mean, didn't you have any idea that this was happening?
I just assumed everybody liked lobster. After all, we like it here. I mean, who wouldn't like lobster?
Well, I mean, obviously, this woman doesn't like lobster. It's not something that she can eat. She's not allowed to eat it.
I think she was embarrassed.
She was embarrassed, and so was I. I felt awful.
Boy, was that embarrassing. This role play poses many questions. Who was responsible for the problem? Was it an oversight by the host, or does the responsibility lie with the guest? Maybe a better question here is, why did the problem arise in the first place? As teachers, we have the responsibility to help students understand the impact of culture in their lives and lives of people elsewhere. Unfortunately, it's more easily said than done, because as individuals, regardless of which culture we belong to, we have a tendency to be ethnocentric in our outlook. That is, we see others' way of life, including likes and dislikes, from our frame of reference. In this case, because of ethnocentrism, the host assumes that the guest will enjoy a lobster dinner, while the guest assumes that shellfish will not be served at the dinner table. Some of our ethnocentrism is as a result of bonding with our social group, but much of it is as a result of a lack of experience with other peoples and particularly limited opportunities in seeing other culture from its point of view. The clothing that we wear can also create potential problems in our multicultural society.
I'm not just a Luger. Can't beat a fly. You can't beat anything, anybody or anywhere. I know what you mean. Look.
Hi, Nikhil. It's time to go to the dentist.
Oh, Mom.
Hi, you're awfully quiet today. Is something wrong?
No, Mom.
You're not afraid of going to the dentist, are you?
No, Mom.
Put on your seatbelt. Is something bothering you, my son?
No, Mom.
something really bothering you? Would you like to tell me about it?
Okay. How come you have to dress? Why can't you dress like other moms dress?
Don't you like me wearing the sari?
Yes, I do. But don't you think you should dress? You should dress like other moms do.
Are you ashamed of our saris?
No, but it's just like I'm thinking what other people might think about it.
You're worried about other people's reactions.
Yes.
What a dilemma. This skit highlights the importance of not only ethnocentrism, but also the importance of outside factors in multicultural education. We must remember that school curriculum is only one part of educational experiences operating in the lives of young people. An equally important part of students' educational experience is picked up from what is called societal curriculum, that ongoing informal curriculum of the family, peer groups, neighborhoods, cultural institutions, and mass media. This skit focuses on the power of peer groups as an element of societal curriculum. What are the options for the mother and her son? What would you do if you were a teacher in the school? One thing that all cultures have in common is the way they value their traditions, including religious affiliations.
So, did you like the music at the dance?
Yeah, dance was pretty good. Had a good time, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, best time I had in a long time.
Yeah. Did you see Jennifer and John?
Yeah, you know, I heard they didn't get home till like about 2:30.
Yeah, she told me.
Yeah.
And her mom really flipped out.
Did she?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, my parents flipped out the other day too. But,
Why's that?
they want me to see someone else.
Why?
They want me to see someone that's the same religion as me. I don't know why.
Doesn't make sense to me.
No. It's kind of... Mom doesn't mind too much, but Dad really flipped out. He really... I don't know. It's not you.
What about it? She's saying, what about it? She doesn't care about religion anymore.
Well, she does care about religion. She's only 17. She likes the boy.
She has turned her back on the thing we taught her.
You make it sound like it's all my fault.
She's your daughter.
She's your daughter, too.
You're too tolerant of her. You let her get away with things.
Well, she's our daughter. She's our responsibilities, not only mine.
我们每次就为什么要听她？她要上教堂，她就上教堂。
我们都不上教堂，为什么她要上教堂？
I had to get out after.
Did you?
They wouldn't... I can't even talk to them when they start talking to each other like that. They don't even think I'm there.
You know, I got the same problem at my place. It's no better. It's not they don't like you. They just don't want me to see anyone that's different religion. I think it's stupid, so, you know, I don't care what they say. I just left. I couldn't handle it.
Couldn't you find a girl closer to home, boy?
What's that supposed to mean?
All your father's trying to say is that you and this girl come from very different backgrounds.
Mom,
that's all. Look, that's all.
Listen, Mom, she isn't that different. She's just like you and me.
I really don't know what you see in her, Todd.
What do you mean what I see in her? She's really cute. She's fun to be with. I like her.
She's a different religion, for one thing, and that's a big thing to me. And you giving up on your religion, too?
Not giving up on religion. I think that's stupid.
Look, we don't have anything against her. She is a nice girl with her own people. But for you, she's not the one.
What do you mean she's not the one? How can you tell? She's a nice girl. She comes from a good family.
I'm not saying she doesn't, but religion plays a big part in our lives. It always has. You know
it's not
that.
like we're getting married or anything. Jeez, I'm only 17.
Well, I tell you one thing. We're not going to encourage the relationship.
We're not going to
May as
encourage.
well
Jeez,
get that
I don't
straight.
need this, you know?
It doesn't sound like you're having any more luck than I am at home. What do you think we should do?
I don't know. If we keep seeing each other, we're going to take a lot of heat from our parents, but I don't want to give up seeing you. What do you want to do?
What do you think these teenagers should do? What do you think parents should do? While this episode speaks of the religious and cultural differences among Canadians, it also calls upon us to recognize that there often is a difference between our cultural roots and our cultural experiences. Is religion the issue here, or are the parents using religion to mask the fact that they are strongly opposed to an interracial marriage? In this case, the teenage girl speaks perfect English, but has only a limited command of her parents' mother tongue. She's been saturated with values and attitudes of the mainstream Canadian society. In fact, if she moved to her parents' hometown, she would be a foreigner in many ways. Yet, she is still considered different by the boy's family since her religious and cultural roots are different. This skit highlights the dilemmas when one's traditional religious and cultural roots are different from their present cultural experiences. Is it possible to maintain traditional values and lifestyles from one generation to another when the cultural experiences are different from the cultural roots? Our final role play has to do with the difficulties that arise over language.
On your
Whoa,
own,
what a
you just
challenge.
gotta watch for it.
I'd rather be in the theater.
Tell you, it's gonna be something to see. Katie.
Hi guys.
Hey.
How are you doing?
How you doing?
You're looking upset.
Yeah, just came from that class again. It's driving me nuts.
Why? What's wrong?
I'm going to class with a prof who can't speak English.
Can't speak English?
I mean, well, he speaks English, but you can't understand a word he's saying because of his accent. It's like from hell. It's amazing.
Doesn't he give good notes?
No. He just puts those words on the board every now and then. I mean, just keywords that I can get out of my textbook. No explanation, however.
Have you tried going to see him in his office?
Yeah, I know, that's really great, but I'm paying money to come and do courses here. I'd like to be able to understand what's while I'm in class. I mean, I go to class to learn something. I shouldn't have to go outside class. It's just not fair.
You remember a couple of years ago in the newspaper they had that article on the talking Coke machine downstairs? And they were wondering why it is we pay a couple of $1,000s to come and listen to professors who don't speak English, and we can put $1 in a machine and it speaks perfectly.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's not fair.
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, they're coming here to our country. They should at least be able to speak our language.
I know someone who can't graduate. Right? They're waiting to find a professor to teach their final course that they can understand. Right? They can't finish their degree until they can find the right professor.
It's driving me nuts. What's the point of having people here if they can't teach me, you know?
It's not fair for us to pay all that money
No.
and not be able to get anything out of it. I mean,
I pay almost $1,000 a semester to come here and learn something, and I get here and I can't learn a thing. It's like, hello, what was that?
No, but I had a professor like that once, and I went to see him in his office, and it made all the difference in the world. We went over everything in slow motion, and it was, it worked out great.
I had a prof like that once too, and I went to his office and it didn't make any difference at all, just like you said.
This role play goes beyond the issue of language, doesn't it? In fact, it highlights the importance of rights and responsibilities. In this case, what are the rights and responsibilities of the individuals involved? The professor's responsibility is to teach, to communicate adequately in order to ensure that the message will be received. However, the students have responsibilities as well. Students cannot abdicate their responsibility of attending classes, and they must try to improve communications between them. Exposure and effort of understanding of the patterns of speech and local dialects by both parties is necessary if we are to have a win-win solution. The more we know about people, their culture, their religion, their customs, and their traditions, the better off we are in terms of enriching our lives.
We're all just the same kind of people, except we come from different countries.
Let the children write about their experiences. Let them talk about their experiences. Let them do their dances and their songs and teach other kids about their experiences. Give a voice to immigrant children.
My name is Rasha, and I wrote this story about the Gulf War and how we left Kuwait. And I'm going to read a part of this for you. Then came the day that we would escape. I never thought that I would ever leave. I had to say goodbye to the same country that I had been born in and grew up in for more than 8 years. We escaped under the darkness of that sad night. My father drove continuously for 3 days across the Iraqi borders. He had to bribe some soldiers with money, watches, and radios to keep them from searching us. Me and my sister had to hide all of our money in our shoes.
I think we are all prejudiced in some way or another. Our head would like to think differently, or we say we're not, but sometimes we'll never know until we are put to a real test.
We've got to change attitudes towards others in society. We've got to ensure that we promote tolerance and equality and cross-cultural understanding, and that people behave in a manner consistent with what they know. It's not enough just to teach people, to give them knowledge. We've got to also cultivate in a good multicultural education program, cultivate appropriate attitudes, and ultimately people will behave in a manner which is consistent with what the Universal Declaration of Human Rights talks about, what the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in this country talks about, real equality. That's what we've got to do in education.